welcome to A Web of Stories. My name is Melinda and I am here to tell you what I am currently reading. A little housekeeping first. I am filming this on Saturday, February 18th. I'm dating this because I usually film these on Sundays. However, my daughter, who is the magic behind the camera, is going to her first fan expo tomorrow. So she's not going to be available, so I'm having to do this on Saturday. The reason I say this is because I include this video on my weekly update post on my blog. And there is a chance that I will have finished some of these books that I'm talking about now before I post that, so they'll actually show up as finished. And so if there's a discrepancy, that's why. I'm just taping a day early. But let's get started. So the first book I'm actually really excited about. This is Better the Blood by Michael Bennett. This is debut adult fiction. The author, Michael Bennett, is a filmmaker, and he's done nonfiction and what else? It was a young adult graphic novel, but this is debut adult fiction. It is a thriller. It's a procedural. It says it's a Hannah Westerman thriller, which leads me to believe that this is the first in a series. It opens with Hannah, who is a cop in Auckland. She, like the author, is Maori, and she's at the sentencing of a young man who's been found guilty of rape. This young man is white and privileged, and of course he gets a very lenient sentence. The victim in this case was another Maori woman. This is not a spoiler. It happens in the first chapter, and as far as I am in the book, it actually doesn't tie in that much to the central mystery or central crime. I don't know if it's going to tie up. I kind of have a suspicion that it's going to tie in somehow, but we'll wait and see. But the thriller element is actually a serial killer situation. There is a photo it was taken back in the 1850s or 1860s of 6 British soldiers standing very calmly around the body of a Maori warrior that's hanging from a tree. And that is sort of the impetus for the serial killer. So I want to say I got really sucked into this very quickly. It's very well written. It's very fast paced. I am enjoying it greatly. It kept me up too late last night. But it's, I think this is going to be a real hit for me. And I'm really excited. This is the first book by a Maori author that I have read. So it's a new release. It was just released, I believe, in the last month or so. And again, that's Better the Blood by Michael Bennett. The next book I actually have not started yet. I finished an ebook last night. So today I'm going to be starting You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty by Akwaeke Emezi. I have read The Death of Vivek Oji by Akwaeke Emezi and really liked it. And one thing I've heard about this author is that they are very different. Their books are all very, very different. So I don't know what to expect from this. I do know that there is like a romance element, or maybe I should say a love story element. I don't know what the setup for this book is or anything. I'm going to go in blind, but based on The Death of Vivek Oji, which impressed me with Emezi's writing and their ability to write, I think that this is going to be a hit. So I'm looking forward to that. As for audio, I am still listening to, but I hope to be finished soon, You'll Never Believe What Happened to Lacey by Ruffin and Lacey Lamar. I've mostly been listening to this at the gym, so maybe I need to go work out more. I don't know, but it's a very good gym book because it will take your mind off your workout. It's very funny, but it's also very thought-provoking. I'm really glad I'm reading it. Even today I was at Coffee with Friends and we were talking about something and I could bring this book into conversation. So I would highly recommend this book. If you're looking for an entertaining audiobook for Black History Month, this would be a good choice. I'm still working on Mink River by Brian Doyle, and I am still really enjoying it. This book is, I've talked a lot about this book in past videos, so I'm not going to say that much here, except that I expect that this will be a book that I recommend quite a bit in the future. Because it's really impressing me, and I'm so happy that I am reading it. As I said, I'm reading this in place of my short story collection, which means I'm going through it rather slowly, which is why it's taking me so long. It's not because it's an especially slow read. It is, however, a great book. It's not a short story collection, but it is a great book to read in that same sort of setting because the sections are actually pretty short. So you don't have to read far to get to a good stopping point. You can put it down and pick it up pretty easily. And then finally, I am still going with Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. I think I'm now a month ahead of schedule. So we'll see when I actually finish this, but I'm really enjoying it. That is also surprising me. I didn't think this would be a book that I would enjoy as much as I am, but it is very good. And as I've said in an earlier video, I also have Piranesi, and that has come very highly recommended to me. I don't want to read it while I'm reading Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. So I'm planning to hold on to it until I'm done with that. But I think that Susannah Clarke may become a must-read author for me. And now I'm going to do a little change pace because last night my family and I went to see Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I haven't talked about it much on this channel, but my family's a Marvel family. My husband grew up with the comic books and he knows it all, and the kids have watched all the TV shows and the movies, so I kind of married into it, but because I'm bombarded by it constantly, I've gotten sucked into the Marvel fandom. But we did go see Ant-Man and we went to see Quantumania last night. My husband had been reading reviews, and the reason I want to say this is my husband had been reading reviews, and the reviews he read were negative to the level of The Eternals, which I don't know if you've seen The Eternals, but that movie is terrible. And I told him to shut up. I didn't want to hear about it because I wanted to just watch this movie. At one point, I yelled at him, "Don't rain on my parade," to get him to stop talking about it. But I will say, don't trust the reviews. This movie was actually surprisingly entertaining. I shouldn't say surprisingly entertaining. The Ant-Man franchise has always been entertaining, at least for me. I have found it to be a little like Chinese food. I enjoy it while I'm experiencing it, and then it kind of doesn't stick with you, which is fine. But this one I think has more meat on it. It's the first movie in Phase 5, which I thought was weird to start with an Ant-Man movie, but once you see the movie, it makes sense. I'm very spoiler-averse, so I don't want to say much more about the movie. My one little quibble with it is that there is a point where they do something that really irritates me in books, and it really irritated me here, where there is information that the characters need, and it's not information that they have to go find because there is a character in their midst who has all the information but just doesn't tell them. And that gets old really quickly, and if you carry it on too long, it becomes very annoying. And that did happen a little bit here. And also, this is also not a spoiler, but there's a lot of interesting looking characters in this movie. And I was watching it going, these characters look a little familiar. And when I see interesting looking characters, there are characters that look like vegetables, among other things. So, very strange. But I was thinking about this. Where have I seen these kinds of characters before? And I realized these are the kind of characters you would kind of see like in the cantinas and such in Star Wars movies. And Disney owns both Marvel and Star Wars. So now I have this theory that Disney's moving to the point where they're going to say that Star Wars doesn't take place in space. It takes place in the quantum realm, and it's going to have the Star Wars Marvel crossover. I could be crazy with that. My daughter is shaking her head saying that's stupid. That's not ever going to happen. But I'm putting it out here. That's a possibility. And I'm going to link a video down below of what I think might actually come to pass. It's an outtake from Parks and Recreation, and you probably know what it is. If you know what it is, that's what it is. If not, watch it. It's very entertaining. Anyway, that's all I have for my weekly update this week. I'm starting to babble, so I'm going to stop. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, if you stayed with this video as I babbled on, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and please subscribe to my channel. And leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you're reading. Tell me what you think of the books I'm reading. And I hope to see you again in the next video. Thank you so much.